Hello everybody, it's Sana, and today's video is a Copic Marker illustration of a silver-haired elf. All the products that I used will be in the description box. The name of this piece is Dathúil, and in Irish it means beautiful or lovely. With this piece, I was experimenting with a slightly more realistic style. I really like to experiment with different styles and try out new things in my work. For this piece, this was one of the first times I actually drew the individual eyebrow hairs. Normally, I would just draw a line for the eyebrows. I'm trying to add a bit more of detail and realism to my pieces, so adding small things such as eyebrow hairs, eyelashes, and a bit more of a defined nose helps. I was a bit nervous drawing in the eyebrows and the eyelashes, mainly because in the past I was just so bad at them, but I've been practicing a lot and it has really paid off. I also have to say I'm pretty proud of the blending of this piece. I have been doing a lot of studies and practicing of blending with my Copic markers. I still have a long way to go, but I'm very happy with the results of this one. The biggest issue I have with Copics is the blending. It's very different from acrylics or watercolor. Transitional colors is what's needed for smooth blending, basically using various colors to blend a dark color to a light color. So for example, if you're blending from black to white, you would lay down the black and then use various shades of gray in between the black and white to create a smooth transition. The big downfall with Copic markers is you actually have to have the transitional colors in order to blend properly. When I'm painting in acrylics, I can just mix the transitional colors that I need, and with watercolors, I can lay down diluted layers of paint and slowly transition from a light color to a dark color. With Copics, I can't mix the colors that I need, and I can't lay down a diluted layer of color. You can kind of do this with a colorless blender, but the color doesn't distribute as evenly, and if the marker is stained from a darker color, it can end up intermixing and ruining your entire piece. Now, I am still a novice when it comes to markers, and I am way more comfortable with paint, but I am practicing and learning more about how Copics work. One of the things that I love about painting is the fact that I can create a variety of colors from just a handful of colors. I can create my base color, my highlight color, transitional colors, and shadow color from just 2 or 3 different tubes of paint. Another factor that can affect your marker work is the type of paper that you use. Choosing the right paper helps you so much with your marker work, and I am still trying to find my perfect paper. I do enjoy using the Fabriano Studio Watercolor Hot Press paper, however, the smallest size they make is an 8x10. I really enjoy doing small pieces, and using small size paper really helps with that. So I'm trying to find a smaller paper that will work for my needs. I know I can just cut the paper down to the size that I need, but I am really bad about cutting straight lines and I always mess up the paper. I know picking paper based on a specific size is really limiting and it makes the search for paper that much harder. So I really need to practice cutting my straight lines so I can use a variety of paper confidently. The paper I used for this piece is actually a perfect example of being limited just by paper size. The paper I used was from the Legion brand, and it was the 5x7 Stonehenge white. I picked out this paper for 2 reasons. The first reason was because it was 5x7, and the second was because it was supposed to be a multimedia paper. I also really liked the texture of the paper. It was very smooth. It was sort of in between a watercolor paper and a Bristol paper. While the paper did say it was multimedia, it didn't work out so well with my Copic markers. I was pretty disappointed the way how this paper handled the markers. My markers bled through quite a bit, and it actually took a long time for them to dry. I think part of the reason why I had these issues with the paper is because it was only 90 pounds. And honestly, I'm used to working with 140 pound paper, so I'm used to a different absorption rate and bleed through. I was a little disappointed with the way how this paper worked with my Copic markers, and I probably won't be using it for Copic pieces in the future. This paper was just way too frustrating to use with them. I mean, I made it work, but at the same time, I don't like my paper fighting against me. But I will say that color pencils blended so well on this paper. I went back and reread the description, and it did say that color pencil works really well on this paper. I think artists who use color pencil might actually really like this paper, but I am not 100% comfortable in recommending this paper for just color pencil, and the main reason why is because I do not use color pencil as my primary medium. I do more watercolor and I dabble a little bit in Copic markers, but what I look for in paper is completely different than what someone who uses color pencil exclusively looks for. However, this paper is fairly inexpensive, it's acid-free, and it comes in a variety of sizes, so this might be something worth picking up and trying out. Now, this paper does say it can be used with a variety of other wet mediums, including acrylic and watercolor, so I think I'm going to experiment a little bit more and see how I like it with other mediums. I'm not quite willing to write off this paper just yet. It looks like we have come to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested of prints of this piece, then they are available on my online shop. The link is in the description box. And if you'd like to keep up with my art journey, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel along with following me on my social media. I have an Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All links are in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!